Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Tai Chi For You. This is a new background, so welcome. This is our sort of tranquility spot. It just, so happened that the universe provided this with us. We wanted to change it up a little bit this week, and I said, what's out there? Maybe like rainforesty type water is a good element that just it's sort of calming in the trees. People like to go for walks in the woods. It's the trees, I guess, maybe that we're drawn to it. And if there's a stream or anything, and that's the bonus, the sound of the water going over the rocks. So, uh, welcome, enjoy this peaceful episode of Tai Chi for you. It's also a special one into numbers. This is the 150th show. So, we're doing something right or something entertaining. Also, about numbers, I posted that we're having more and more followers and people that hit the like button and share it with their friends. So, that's kind of what's happening out there in the internet. But in our Northbridge um, Senior Center class on Mondays, and that's at Mondays at 11, that's starting to grow with new members as well as the um, the students that are there weekly. That I've noticed, quite an improvement um, with the not so newbies anymore. But the new people are coming along, and it's exciting for me. And when I was talking to them, I just the idea of them relaxing and realizing that, okay, I was in their shoes. Really wasn't that long ago. 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know how long I've been doing this, but I remember the first day showing up with a million questions, a million doubts. Uh, what is this? Can I do it? I don't even know what it is, but that anxiousness maybe, and then the idea of trying to follow along. So I've had some great teachers, and I consider myself as a student, as all of you should be. We're always learning, always try to be learning, and one of the things is to share your knowledge, and that again it helps you, but it's yeah, you're helping others. You're sharing your passion, it's just your excitement. So that idea, it just grows in you. So that's why I like talking about Tai Chi, teaching it. Anytime I can, I'm out in the community. Um, as you know, I work with it's alternatives or open skies now, and then companies grow, things change or whatever, but the people are the people. It's just that getting out there and meeting and enjoying everybody, as well as the senior centers that I've taught at, as well as other companies have had me come and do some workshops and seminars. So, with all that being said, the idea of what Tai Chi is, you make it about you. It's not a it's not a contact sport. It's not a team sport. It's it's how you connect to self. So you want to go into it for what you want to get out of it. And some people come, it's their doctor recommended they find a Tai Chi class. And I really commend the doctors that are out there recommending it, or if physical therapists that say, hey, maybe you ought to try um, something that would help you. And Tai Chi is one of the things. So um, when I like to start off, and with watching other YouTubers or people on Facebook or whatever, you just find other instructors out there. So if you do, you pick and choose, and you make how you exercise all about you. But there's a lot of great information out there, a lot of great teachers out there. And with this show, it's really sort of a combination of a little bit extending the live class that we do on Mondays, but also I know that the people that can't make it, they follow along. So I don't want to do it just as a 30-minute exercise program. And there's a lot of those, more with the yoga or a physical therapy where you can find, a 20-minute workout or something like that. We might do something like that maybe later on in different episodes, but I don't know. I've enjoyed having guests on. I've enjoyed just, talking to you guys one-on-one. And it's nice knowing that you're out there. The numbers show that, people are watching, people are sharing. So why don't we get started? We talk about really with anything, and I was kind of reading the beginning of the show. It's, consult your physician. It's really, again, it's about you, but you want to talk to your circle of professionals, whether, you're a chiropractor or a physician, something like that, work with, your abilities on what you could do with these. And I show when I show a move, I try to show maybe 2 or 3 options. If you are, sitting, something that, right now, you can't get up, something's happening in your life that you can't stand right now. So we adapt it and we just show, in a chair how you could do this, or use a prop holding on to a table. There's no special clothes. Yeah, I like, sort of having some traditional gi, the jacket, but again, just sort of loose clothing. If you're outside, you can do it barefoot. That's a bonus. We talk about grounding, or I've been reading a lot about those grounding sheets. I might get a set. So all these different, I don't want to say remedies, or the idea of just say it's Canadian. They call it TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. And that includes the Tai Chi, the movement, the Qigong, the acupuncture, the acupressure. So there are different ways. So again, you consult with your circle of experts to try to get what's best for you. So we talk about in the beginning the basics, and it again go right down to its breathing. And I remember one of my instructors, and Asian woman, and it was like, you silly Americans, you breathe wrong, you eat wrong, you walk wrong, and all this is like brand new, and I didn't understand how that's how we look. So it's a different culture, it's a different idea, but we're adapting how much we can try to, get back to the basics. So the breathing is a long, slow, deep breath. So by doing that, just saying it, I had to slow down and just be mindful. So just be mindful with your breath. Just, just during this time, just during an exercise, or forget Tai Chi, you're working out for the ski team or whatever it is. You're building up a cross-country run. There's actually Tai Chi running, a way of breathing and exercising. But for now, just relax and just take a breath in. It doesn't have to be through your nose, but ideally, breath in and breath out. And what we're trying to accomplish is the medical or the scientific aspect is, bringing in the oxygen. And there's that exchange that happens in the lungs, how it um, goes in the blood, and the blood releases other gases and out. So breath in, breath out. And the other technique, again, there's different ones. You could open up the chest a little bit. And these are nice, easy exercises in the morning, anytime during the day. But, you think about maybe you had a good night's sleep, maybe you didn't, but your body was resting. So you want to slowly start to activate all the cells and get the blood moving. And we say get the chi flowing. So it's, open up, and that helps getting the air deeper into the lungs. And then when you exhale, make it a conscious effort of exhaling all the stale air out of that. And you can put your hands right on. Again, I'm talking basics, but I want to explain. Visualize that like a sponge. I'm kind of squeezing, and when I'm pushing right on, and that allows that nice fresh air to come in. So it's great, the morning air. They talk about, open the window and take a breath of the fresh air first thing in the morning. So all that Eastern, Western sayings, there's the meanings behind them, the benefits of it. So breathing is I don't want to say the first one, but it's right up there with, drinking water and keeping hydrated. We talk about the fascia, which is that layer under the skin. And if you're not properly hydrated, you see people that it's again, everything affects everything else. So if you're dehydrated, one of the effects is the fascia, gets tighter, and the skin gets tighter, and the joints don't move as well. So you need that liquid intake. And yes, there's supplements and things you could add to water that's supposed to enhance everything going into the body, the electrolytes and all that. But again, everything in moderation. Watch the sugar content. So, breathing, stay hydrated. Now, let's talk a little bit about our posture. And this is, I don't want to say difficult, but it's one that while you're doing it, yes, you make yourself aware, but during the day, you're out shopping, you're just walking, or you're driving, or you're hunched over your desk, things like that. Take that conscious effort to sort of realign and keep the back straight. And walking, try not to shuffle, try to walk with purpose. You see people, I don't know, maybe they teach it or whatever, but the confidence when someone walks into a room, they have that nice, you could just tell they got something to say, or people gather to them that, okay, this guy, he's on the ball. He's got something going on, versus the guy that just kind of comes in. He's not making eye contact. He's looking around. So all these different techniques that they teach, maybe in acting or politics or whatever it is, but you want to have that maybe charisma, something like that. You want to have, it's that inner energy that you want to have, that chi. People ask, what's up? Oh, I'm just full of chi. I got that good energy. So that's, again, you have to cultivate it. And that helps with having a good posture and staying hydrated and that proper breathing. So with the posture, we have something called the 5 bows. And you can go real deep with it, but I just want to sort of hit the surface with it and let you guys play with it and see. You have to feel it. I can explain it. You could copy me perfectly with any move or posture, but if you're not feeling it, you're not getting the full benefit. So what we do first, let's just get in our mountain pose. And with this one right here, we want the weight a little bit forward on the pad of the foot versus being more weight on the heels. And again, just for balance purposes, you want to be weight just slightly forward. The shoulders are relaxed, they're back just a little bit, and the elbows are just sort of out to the side. Relax, but you have that intention. You're connected, okay? Now, the bow is that idea of that slight drop, so the knees bend. So there's 1, 2 behind each knee, okay? We still have our weight a little bit forward on the ball of the foot. Shoulders are relaxed. Elbows are slightly pushed back, I'd say is the word, pushing back. Now we're going to make the right foot the heavy foot so we can step out. And this adjustment is called getting into a horse's stance. If you ever ridden a horse, you sort of want to like squeeze into the belly, the back of the horse, so it helps you stay in that saddle. And there's that straight back. That's another bow with the spine. So you want to elongate that spine. Visualize, they call it a golden thread or a sky hook, pulling on that crown of the head, lifting it, which tucks the chin in slightly. And the other part of the rope on the spine is pulling down or dropping that tailbone. Visualize a weight or an anchor on that bottom part of the spine. So there it is, elongating the spine. Knees are slightly bent. Arms are out to the side. That's that other 2 bows, that opening on the sides. So it takes a little while to get into that and move, let the weight come back till you realize, no, I'm not stable. And if I go too far, I don't want to have the knees over the feet and be up on the tiptoes. That's not a good balance. So that nice grounded feeling. And sometimes we use our first finger here to point or to ground and visualize roots either coming out of the whole palm of the hand, pressing down, or you're holding on to a cane or a table or the back of a chair, whatever you have. But there's that keeping that shoulders back, just like that. And this could be a meditative state. Once you find it and you like what you found, you like where you're at, this is great. This is where you could just do your breath in. And breath out. And this is just a return to the mountain. And when I was being taught these, and I was being taught by different instructors as well. So it wasn't just one person. I was taking a little bit from everybody, but the basics are the basics. And I wanted to rush through. What's next? What's next? Show me something else. And when they drill it into you, a whole class, that slight adjustment, that little bit, that breathe, not just one time, breathe and start to feel that exchange of oxygen, that energy coming in and out of the body. Start to visualize. They talk about meridian points in the body. And again, it's the traditional Chinese medicine or TCM. And you could use that as to Google something, TCM for a toothache, or it might, where there's pressure points that you could press on for a headache, TCM for headaches. And it, would give you a few exercises. It might give you a blend of tea. It might give you different herbs to try. So there's other options out there that have been around for hundreds of thousands of years that have been used successfully um, gotten from nature. Nothing wrong with science and the advances in medicine and operations and things like that. But some things are just better off being simple. Try something simple first before you know go off on spending thousands of dollars on looking for something. Look inward. Take that time to meditate a little bit on something and see if an answer doesn't come to you. So now it's getting a little deep, but that's where you want to get to. You want to always try to get to that next level. So the next level of mountain, other than just like, yep, I got the posture, I'm doing it. Okay, start to go internally more. Start to visualize what's happening. The everything is happening inside the body. And again, there's an energetic body as well. And there's scientific proof where they measure, the electricity and just different how the joints and the muscles move, origin and insertions, things like that. So we got the breathing, we got the balance. I don't want to get into diet. There's people that, again, in your circle, you're looking for a specific, dietary needs, things like that. There's experts out there that'll, give you a right combination and amounts and when to eat and everything. Really, there's so much knowledge out there that, you try to put it together yourself or, have a coach, have somebody with you that can guide you with their experience in it. So, and that's how I try to, look at myself is I try to guide you through something. I'm not telling you the one and only way of doing something. So we got time. I'll show you a couple of the moves that we practice with the, showing the new people. We don't want to overwhelm them, but we did have the 2 new people this week, and we did the 24 form, or the whole form, just so they could see the it is attainable, because everybody in that room started out day one not knowing right from left. So, and it's just such a great feeling seeing everything come together with that class. So, here's a nice opening move, just that up, in, and down. And for the very first time, I'm not going to overcorrect people too much, but it's that idea of the arms come up, and just before they come in, I know they got to come in, but I'm not rushing that thought. And I know they're going to go down, so I have that thought of what's going to happen. So I'm thinking just that nanosecond ahead. It's just 3 moves, up, in, and down. So when you have that, and you're not worried about what's the next move, there's that muscle memory sort of taking over. So now I can concentrate and add that breath. Breath in. And don't worry if you breathe in too soon, or, you can't do the whole move with a breath in. But the breathing is important, to be aware of it, and then be aware of your posture, that slight forward and the slight knee bent. And then you can go a little bit deeper and do the up and sort of drop the torso, but keep that back straight. So when you get the physical part, that basic up, in, and down, now you start to incorporate and start adding the posture and the breath with that. Now go a little bit deeper and start to visualize internally what's happening with the body, but also with that energetic body. See if you can't visualize all around you the energy that's around you, and you're starting to move that energy, and then come back to mountain pose. That is the first, well, the first move is mountain, second move is horse, third move is opening move or Tai Chi arms. So those are the first three that we teach. Those are the first three in the Yang style 24 form. And that is the most popular. That is the one that it's a complete body workout. So it does work from head to toe. And there is some balance involved with that where we actually, balance on one foot so the other one can come up, and you have to keep that posture. And there's a low kick that we do. There's a stepping out to the side, and we're shifting and turning, keeping that core tucked in. There's a slight lift up. There's that step out and sweep. So when you're new watching anything, a lot of the little nuances you don't catch. Just like, if you watch a baseball game or the football game, oh, it looks simple. At least, these guys are running around with a football. No, they dig so deep with that the pros, we're watching the pros, but when you're watching the high school or whatever, kids just playing football, there's strategy, there's that idea there, shifting that weight, turning the body to avoid the tackle. They're not, again, it's fast, but when they practice, or with Tai Chi anyway, you practice slow. So when you have to execute, you're executing, either fast or, in live time, I guess, when you're trying to avoid something. Or the idea, the simple thing that I do is that grounding technique, and I'll do it before I just, have to climb a ladder or I got the ladder against the tree to climb up and do a branch. I don't just go up. I'm okay. And I sort of visualize what's going to happen. And then I, start the process of climbing. So there's all kinds of ways to go deeper with these moves. But in the beginning, follow along. And if you go back a few episodes, I'll get the numbers. I'll tell you next time. But I broke down every move, and we only did like 2 or 3 moves for the whole part of the show, just so we could go into that first phase, second phase, and that third phase of really that internal feeling of what the goal is you're trying to achieve with Tai Chi. So why don't we just relax, enjoy this, and just practice what we did, and we'll say goodbye. So it's up, in, and down. Until next time, we'll see you again. This is Tai Chi for You.